In many cultures, gifts are viewed as symbols of kindness and generosity. However, from a Buddhist perspective, some gifts carry hidden energies that may disrupt spiritual harmony. This video explores 8 types of gifts that could bring misfortune if accepted. It's not about being ungrateful, but about protecting your energy and peace. Stay with me as we dive deeper into this ancient wisdom and learn how to navigate these subtle dangers. Chapter 1: The Hidden Energies in Objects. In Buddhist philosophy, every object carries its own energy that influences the person who possesses it. This energy is shaped by the emotions, intentions, and experiences of those who have interacted with the object. Whether it's a piece of jewelry or a simple household item, what you accept into your personal space can bring either harmony or disruption to your life. When you receive a gift, you're not only accepting a physical item but also the energy attached to it. Positive energy from joyful past experiences may benefit your environment, while objects marked by sorrow, hardship, or negative intentions can affect your emotional or spiritual well-being. For example, an inherited item from someone who experienced deep struggles may carry the emotional residue of their pain, subtly influencing your life. This is why Buddhist teachings emphasize mindfulness when accepting gifts. Before accepting an item, it's important to consider its history and whether its energy resonates with your own. If an object carries energy that feels misaligned with your well-being, it might be better to decline or release it. Purification rituals, like smudging with sage or meditating with the object, can help neutralize negative energies, but sometimes it's necessary to let go of objects that continue to feel unsettling. Buddhism encourages detachment from material possessions that no longer serve us, freeing ourselves from emotional weight. Ultimately, being selective about what you bring into your life is not about rejecting kindness, but about protecting your peace. When you surround yourself with objects that resonate with your values, you create a space that nurtures your well-being. By aligning your physical space with your spiritual goals, you cultivate lasting peace and clarity. Chapter 2: Gifts from Complex Relationships, the Emotional Strings Attached. In Buddhism, the intention behind a gift is just as important as the gift itself. When you receive a gift from someone with whom you have a complicated or strained relationship, it can carry emotional baggage, potentially creating an unseen bond of obligation, guilt, or manipulation. While the gift might appear to be an offering of reconciliation, it can also act as a reminder of unresolved tensions or unspoken expectations. For example, receiving a gift from someone you have had conflicts with can make you feel indebted, even if the giver has no explicit demands. This creates an emotional imbalance, where you may feel pressured to repay the favor, behave a certain way, or maintain a closeness that doesn't feel natural. Buddhism teaches that relationships should be built on mutual respect and equality, free from material attachments that complicate emotional bonds. Accepting a gift from someone with whom you have unresolved tension can perpetuate the negative energy and keep the conflict alive, even in subtle ways. To protect your peace, it's important to reflect before accepting gifts from complicated relationships. Ask yourself whether the gift carries hidden emotional expectations. If it does, it may be wiser to politely decline or to address the underlying conflict directly through honest communication. By setting boundaries and practicing mindfulness, you can prevent becoming entangled in unhealthy dynamics. The key lesson here is to be mindful of the energy behind the gift and its potential impact on your emotional well-being. True generosity should come without strings attached, and by protecting your own inner balance, you ensure that your relationships remain genuine, healthy, and free from manipulation. Chapter 3: The Curse of Conflict-Laden Gifts, Inheriting Emotional Burdens. In Buddhism, the energy surrounding how an object is acquired is just as important as the object itself. When a gift comes from a situation of conflict, Whether it be a family dispute, a legal battle, or an emotional feud, the negative energy from that conflict can linger within the object. Accepting such a gift might bring discord, tension, or emotional unease into your life, even if you are unaware of it. For example, imagine receiving an heirloom that was the subject of a bitter family inheritance battle. The object, though valuable and sentimental, carries the unresolved anger, resentment, or pain from that dispute. By bringing it into your home, you might unknowingly invite the negative vibrations into your personal space, potentially affecting your emotional well-being and creating a sense of tension in your life. Buddhist teachings remind us that harmony is essential for spiritual growth, and accepting a gift tied to conflict can disrupt this harmony. Even if the conflict is resolved, the emotional residue remains in the object, subtly influencing your environment and relationships. To protect yourself, it's important to be mindful of the history behind the gifts you accept. If a gift has been involved in disputes or negative situations, consider whether its energy is something you want to bring into your life. Cleansing rituals, such as smudging with sage or meditating, may help neutralize some of the negative energy, but in some cases, it's better to decline the gift altogether. The lesson here is to be aware of the potential emotional burden that conflict-laden gifts can carry. By being mindful of what you allow into your space, you can maintain peace and balance in your environment, ensuring that the objects around you support your well-being rather than introducing hidden tensions. Chapter 4: Gifts that Resurrect Painful Memories, Anchors to the Past. In Buddhist teachings, living in the present is key to achieving inner peace, but objects that bring back painful memories can act as emotional anchors, trapping you in the past. Gifts that remind you of difficult periods in your life, even when given with good intentions, can keep you attached to old wounds, preventing you from fully healing and moving forward. Imagine receiving a gift that reminds you of a lost loved one or a time of hardship. While it may hold sentimental value, the constant reminder of pain can hinder your emotional and spiritual growth. Every time you see or use the object, it brings back the sorrow or struggles associated with that period, keeping you emotionally stuck in the past. Buddhism teaches the importance of detachment, not as a way to forget the past, but as a means to free yourself from the emotional weight that prevents you from living fully in the present. Holding on to objects that constantly resurrect painful memories can block the flow of new, positive energies into your life. It can create a cycle of emotional reliving, where you continuously return to feelings of grief, regret, or sadness. Letting go of such gifts doesn't mean forgetting the person or experience they represent, but it allows you to release the emotional burden they carry. Sometimes, this release can come through donating the object or storing it out of sight, while other times, it may mean parting with it entirely. In doing so, you create space for healing, inviting peace and new experiences into your life. The lesson here is to be mindful of how certain objects affect your emotions. If a gift keeps you anchored to a painful time, it may be time to let it go, allowing yourself to move forward with clarity and openness. By releasing objects that no longer serve you, you free yourself from the past and open the door to present moment happiness and spiritual growth. Chapter 5: Spiritual Objects with Unfamiliar Energies, Navigating the Unknown. In Buddhist philosophy, intention and understanding are crucial when accepting spiritual objects, such as amulets, talismans, or ritual items. These objects often carry powerful energies connected to specific spiritual traditions. When you accept a spiritual object from a tradition you're unfamiliar with, you might unknowingly invite energies or influences that are not aligned with your beliefs or practices, potentially causing confusion or imbalance in your life. For example, receiving a talisman from a tradition you don't fully understand can be problematic. Without knowing its true purpose, you might misuse it or inadvertently invite energies that clash with your own spiritual path. These objects, while sacred to one culture or practice, may not resonate with or benefit you if you do not understand their spiritual significance. Buddhism encourages mindfulness and awareness in every action, including the acceptance of spiritual objects. It is important to be thoughtful when deciding whether to bring such items into your life. Ask yourself if the object's purpose aligns with your own spiritual journey and whether you are prepared to honor its significance. If you are unsure about the energy or meaning of a spiritual object, it is better to politely decline or, if you choose to keep it, perform a purification ritual, such as meditation or smudging, to align it with your own energy. However, even with these measures, if the object still feels misaligned, it might be best to release it from your space. The key lesson here is to be cautious and intentional when accepting spiritual objects from unfamiliar traditions. These items can have a profound impact on your energy and spiritual well-being, and it's essential to ensure that they resonate with your beliefs and practices. By being mindful of the energy these objects carry, you protect your spiritual harmony and maintain balance in your life. Chapter 6: Gifts with Conditions, the Hidden Strings of Obligation. In Buddhist philosophy, true generosity is defined by pure intention, giving without expecting anything in return. However, some gifts come with hidden conditions, creating a sense of obligation or emotional debt. These gifts, while seemingly kind or generous, often carry an unspoken expectation that you will reciprocate in some way, which can disturb your emotional and spiritual balance. For example, receiving an expensive gift from a friend might initially feel flattering, but over time, you may sense that the giver expects favors or loyalty in return. The gift, instead of being a token of kindness, becomes a tool of manipulation, subtly binding you to the giver's desires. This creates an imbalance in the relationship, where the act of giving isn't selfless but transactional. Buddhism teaches that relationships should be based on mutual respect and equality, not on material exchanges that create power imbalances. Accepting a gift that comes with expectations can lead to feelings of guilt, stress, or even resentment, as you may feel pressured to meet the giver's demands. To protect your peace, it's important to practice mindfulness and recognize when a gift carries hidden conditions. If you feel that a gift is creating a sense of obligation or control, it might be better to decline it politely or set clear boundaries to maintain your independence. The lesson here is to remain mindful of the intentions behind the gifts you accept. True generosity comes without strings attached, and by protecting your emotional well-being, you can preserve balance and equality in your relationships. By recognizing the hidden strings that come with conditional gifts, you ensure that your actions remain aligned with your values and your inner peace is maintained. Chapter 7: The Burden of Expensive or Luxurious Gifts, the Trap of Material Imbalance. In Buddhist philosophy, simplicity and detachment from material possessions are essential values. Gifts that are excessively expensive or luxurious can create an imbalance in relationships, leading to a sense of obligation or guilt. When you receive such a gift, it can feel like there's an unspoken expectation that you must reciprocate with something of equal value, which may not be possible or comfortable for you. For example, if a friend gives you an extravagant item, you might initially feel flattered, but over time, you could feel uncomfortable or even indebted. The imbalance created by the gift shifts the dynamic of the relationship, where you may feel compelled to repay the gesture in ways that disrupt the natural equality between you and the giver. Buddhism teaches that material possessions should not define or control relationships. When a gift is so luxurious that it creates discomfort, it can cause emotional strain and disturb the peace you are meant to cultivate. You might start to feel burdened by the gift, wondering whether the giver expects future favors or loyalty in return, even if they don't explicitly say so. To maintain harmony, it's important to recognize when a gift is too much for your comfort. Practicing mindfulness allows you to understand how the gift affects you emotionally. If it creates discomfort or obligation, it's okay to politely decline or express that the gesture, while appreciated, is too grand for the context of your relationship. The lesson here is that relationships should not be tied to material exchanges. Expensive gifts can lead to emotional debt, disrupting the balance between giver and receiver. By practicing mindfulness and detachment, you can protect your peace and ensure that relationships are based on mutual respect and simplicity, free from material pressures. Chapter 8: Gifts Given in Moments of Conflict, the Emotional Weight of Reconciliation. In Buddhist philosophy, the emotional state at the time of giving is crucial. When a gift is given during or shortly after a conflict, it often carries the emotional weight of that disagreement. Even though the gift may be intended as a gesture of reconciliation, it can still hold on to the negative energy of the tension or anger surrounding the conflict, making it difficult for true healing to occur. For example, receiving a gift immediately after an argument with a friend or family member might seem like an attempt to make peace, but the unresolved emotions from the disagreement often remain attached to the gift. Each time you see or use the item, it can serve as a reminder of the unresolved conflict, keeping the negative energy alive. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of addressing the root causes of conflict directly, rather than using material objects to gloss over unresolved issues. Accepting a gift as a means of avoiding a difficult conversation may provide temporary relief, but it doesn't offer lasting resolution. The emotional tension may continue to linger beneath the surface, creating an ongoing disturbance in the relationship. The best way to handle a gift given during or after conflict is to approach the situation with mindfulness. Ask yourself if the gift is genuinely helping to mend the relationship or if it's simply masking the underlying issues. If the latter, it's better to address the emotions directly, through honest conversation, before accepting the gift. The key lesson here is to ensure that any reconciliation is based on emotional clarity, not material gestures. True healing comes from open dialogue, not from gifts that carry the unresolved energy of conflict. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on authentic emotional resolution, you protect your peace and foster healthier, more harmonious relationships. Chapter 9: The Gift of Flattery, a Hidden Snare. In Buddhism, intentions behind words and actions carry great significance. Flattery, while seemingly harmless, can be a disguised form of manipulation, binding you to expectations and emotional debt. When someone offers excessive or insincere praise, it often serves a purpose beyond genuine admiration. It is used to influence or control your behavior. This form of manipulation subtly ties you to the person's expectations, pushing you to act in ways that align with their desires rather than your own values. For example, imagine a coworker who constantly praises your work, but later asks for favors or special treatment in return. Initially, the flattery might feel good, boosting your self-esteem, but over time, you may realize that their compliments come with hidden strings attached. This emotional manipulation can lead to feelings of obligation, making it harder for you to maintain clear boundaries. Buddhism teaches us to avoid attachment to external validation, including praise. Becoming dependent on flattery can lead you away from your inner peace, causing you to act in ways that are not true to yourself. The more you rely on others' praise for your sense of self-worth, the more vulnerable you become to manipulation. Mindfulness is the key to recognizing when flattery is being used as a tool of control. By being aware of how compliments make you feel and whether they come with unspoken expectations, you can protect yourself from emotional manipulation. It's important to stay grounded in your own values and maintain a clear sense of self, independent of others' approval. The lesson here is to remain mindful of the intentions behind flattery. Genuine praise should be appreciated, but not relied upon for validation. By focusing on your inner peace and practicing non-attachment, you can protect yourself from the hidden snares of flattery and maintain your emotional independence. Conclusion. In Buddhist teachings, every gift, whether physical or emotional, carries energy that can either uplift or burden you. By practicing mindfulness, you can discern the true intentions behind gifts and decide whether they align with your spiritual well-being. Whether it's a material object, a gesture of flattery, or something given during conflict, being aware of the energy attached helps you maintain balance and peace in your life. True freedom comes from making conscious choices that protect your energy and uphold your values. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-awareness and reflection. Remember, your peace and spiritual growth are precious, and by choosing wisely what you accept into your life, you create a sanctuary of harmony within. We appreciate your time and hope these insights bring clarity and wisdom to your daily life. See you in the next video.